what up? It's your girl Ashley Happy Ballin. This episode is going to be about the Full Court TV show. It premiered on ABC and it was on Disney Plus, now it's on ESPN Plus, and it goes behind the scenes, you know, gives you full access on three big athletes: Caitlin Clark, Camila Cardoza, and Kiki Rice, right? And it followed them last season, not this season, last season. And, I think they should definitely continue this. I don't know if this was a one time thing, but I definitely think they should continue this full court, TV show. I think they should do three athletes every year. Maybe this year he, you know, Paige Beckers or Juju Watkins. Um, I definitely think it was a great documentary. It was a couple of episodes. It was like you know, 4 episodes. It followed them, through the season. Practices, games, workouts. It talked about their personal lives, their childhood, falling in love with basketball, their teammates, their family, their ups and their downs, right? There was a lot of famous media analysts in there. Um, but yeah, the three athletes were talking about, their goals, the pressures, following them around. You get to see their personalities and their upbringing and, you know, follow them around, Um, let's talk first about Caitlin Clark. They were talking about how she changed the women's game, how she really made a huge impact, especially in the NCAA tournament, especially in her senior year, right? Shots from the logo. They talked about all the hype, all the media, all the sellouts, you know. It was it oh, a lot of great highlights, a lot of great college highlights. I really liked all the highlights from March Madness to when they was on that like ship, you know. It was dope. And she talked about how she, just to be normal, right? They talked about the NIL and getting that cash and those brands and those sponsorships, right? They also talked about, you know, when she passed Kelsey Plum and when she passed Pete Maravich, Pistol Pete, for all those great records. And they were talking about the WNBA. She's gonna stay. She's gonna, go because she had an extra year, if she wanted because of COVID, right? But they also talked about. They also showed the LSU rematch, because they met in the championship. You know, she eventually lost, but they won the rematch. And I definitely liked how they, you know, Camila Cardoza, Caitlin Clark. The show is about them, and they met, in the championship. So I thought that was cool. They talked about the good, the bad. They talked about the fame. They talked about how, she has a high IQ. She could see couple passes and plays before they happen, right? And so I really liked, you know, to hear from them. A lot of ESPN analysts like Rebecca Lobo, they talked about the viral knockdown that happened between her and a fan when, all the fans rushed the court and she was trying to get out of there and the fan knocked her down and didn't even pick her up, so that went viral. And I definitely thought like they did a really great job because some documentaries are boring and you know they don't have that it factor, but I feel like Full Court definitely had that it factor. Um, for the Gamecocks, South Carolina Gamecocks, Camila Cardozo, they started their season in Paris. I definitely really if you don't know about Camila Cardozo, watch this because it talks about how she left Brazil at 14. She didn't know English, right? She did it for a better education, right? A better life. They talked about, her upbringing in Brazil and, how her mom was working um, a spice, selling spices and how she's, how they were poor and how she was bullied. Their siblings was like she was bullied. She was very tall, bullied for her size and, her clothes, didn't have the best clothes. Of course, when you're tall and you're growing, the clothes may not fit, and, it was a lot of tears. Get your tissues, but I really liked it because it's like it's a lot of sacrificing her and her family, 14, teenager, uh, to chase your dreams. And there's definitely a lot of stories but like that. But, every story, I feel like that's hard to be away from your family, you know, because like you're thinking of the bigger picture, but still, it's like when you're going through it, it's crazy. But I did like that her family saw her graduate. They were talking about the WNBA and they were talking about her playing big. Don Staley was there a lot, coaching her up. Um, you saw her in game struggles as well when she would play good, when she would play bad. You know, um, something interesting I learned. I did not know this. She could not get NIL deals because of her visa. And I was like, oh, the Americans, they win it. They win it, getting that NIL money. I think she definitely could have got NIL money, you know, but it was unfortunate she didn't get it. But, now that she's a pro for Chicago Sky, now she could get that, brands and sponsorships. But I definitely think you should go watch it because, I knew about Camila Cardoza, right? She's playing for the Gamecocks, but I didn't know, her story, what I mean? And so that's the great thing about this. You get to learn about their stories, like Caitlin Clark, you know, always growing up in Iowa to playing in her own state. But for Kiki Rice, I didn't know much. I knew about Kiki Rice and Lauren, but you don't really know their upbringing like that. That's why I think this is very important because, yeah, you know them on the court, but it's like you gotta showcase their stories so their what they're going through. Maybe you can relate to them, get motivation from them, right? Um, for for Kiki Rice, her coach was challenging her to be more better leader, to talk more, and so throughout the show, you see her gain more confidence and see her be a better leader, her talking more to her teammates because her she has quiet leadership. She's kind of like me, like lead by example. I'm not gonna say much. I'm just gonna handle business, and you gonna follow, right? She got a lot of brands. She got Jordan brand. She got Beats. You don't know this, but well, some people do, right? But she's a sports therapist, and I was like, wow, this is what we need. Mental health is important in sports psychology. That's important too, because sports, um, has their ups and downs and their challenges as well, right? You know, and Kiki Rice was like, you wouldn't know it from her game. Her game is smooth, it's great. Right? She's a baller. You wouldn't know she would be quiet. You wouldn't know she talked with a sports therapist, and she has, confidence issues. You wouldn't really know it if you just looked at her game on the court. But she brings her A game, you know, and her dad, played at Yale and, would show her moves, right? and her uncle was Harlem Globetrotter. She's related to a lot of great people, y'all. Like for your dad to play at Yale and uncle at play for the Harlem Globetrotters, right? Um, she's related to Allen Houston. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He played for the Knicks. He's a great shooter. Played in the NBA, right? I think I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but I think she played pickup basketball with Obama. I think she did. I think she did. And, she's related to a lot of smart people in politics too. I think her aunt might be, in politics, Congress. So it's like her family definitely prides themselves on basketball, right? But education is very important. So she picked UCLA, you know, for both, and she wants to be a winner and competitive because, UCLA, they haven't won a lot. Back in the day they did, but he wants to, make history winning for UCLA. Right? She could have went to the Gamecocks, who Don Staley always has a great class, right? But you know, she went to UCLA and she bringing Lauren with her. I think that's her name, Lauren. And they got another good class coming up, so that's good. I think they're gonna be a great one-two punch with her and Lauren. But I definitely think like I learned a lot from all three of these athletes. And I think we need more of this, especially for like the women. Women's sports needs this. The WNBA needs this. Uh, don't know why we don't have a WNBA ESPN show. I think they should continue this full court. Don't know if it's gonna, be a recurring series, or they just did it one time. But they should do this for all the, you know, college athletes, because we need this, we need to learn more about college athletes and maybe we can follow them to the WNBA. We need to tell their stories because we tell the men's stories in different sports. We need to tell the women's stories. For example, Netflix, they they have a lot of sports series, and some of them follow the United States soccer women's team. um, the new ones is called Sprint, and they was following the men and the women track and field. Like I never seen a track and field sports series before. I don't know if you have, but I haven't. And so I watched it and I learned more about athletes on both sides. The women's side was more entertaining. And uh, Simone Biles, they had a sports series with her um, because the Olympics happened this year. And, you know, so I'm like, we need more of this, especially on the women's side, because we don't know their stories, right? Oh, and Clarissa Shields, she has a movie out, Fire Inside. I'm definitely gonna go check that out. We need to know more about these women in all these sports. Boxing, it doesn't matter, um, any sports. Whoopi Goldberg, she's starting a sports channel, women's sports channel. She's gonna show all women sports. She was like any sport, polo. I don't know, if you gotta buy it separately. I don't know, but I definitely want to go check that out too. We need more access. We need more stories because the talent, the talent speaks for itself. Now let's see the human side of them. You know what I mean? Um, but overall, I really like this. I think everybody should go check it out. I don't know if you can find it on YouTube. I was watching it on Disney Plus and then it disappeared, so I had to go to ESPN Plus. I know it aired, you know, um, this year sometime on ABC. So I really like this. I really like this, and I think it should continue. We need more of this. We need more of this. We need more of this. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what athletes you would like, a show to be about, follow so you can learn more about them. Follow your favorite college women stars or WNBA stars. Tell me if you've seen the series or not. Tell me what else you want me to cover, you know, because I'm doing this 30-day challenge and I'm gonna videos after videos, movie reviews, NBA news, WNBA news. Gonna cover it all. Gonna do NBA 2K as well. Um, So I'm gonna see, I'm gonna see what this 30-day challenge is all about. But yeah, thank you for joining me and watching, and everybody stay ballin'. Peace.